أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم. أما بعد. So inshallah today we will continue with Surah An-Nahl, the bees, and we will start with ayah number 93 inshallah. And inshallah we'll try to conclude the surah today. Allah Azza wa Jal here continues, and all this is speech to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to the kuffar, to those unbelievers or disbelievers, the people of Mecca at the time Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was giving him hardship and hard time. And here Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَجَعَلَكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah only willed, He would have made you all into one nation. وَلَكِنْ يُضِلُّ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. But Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who misguides whomever He pleases, and He guides whomever He pleases. وَلَتُسْأَلُنَّ عَمَّا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And indeed you will be asked for what you used to do. So here Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, Allah could have made you, He could have decided to make you all into one nation. We were doing this, having our kids, actually we were visiting a synagogue and we were talking, the kids were doing dialogue with the kids of the Jewish faith. And then one of the questions that was posed then, they're like, do you think the world would be better off if we're all one religion? SubhanAllah. And the answer is, there's only one religion, which is Islam, submitting to the will of Allah Azza wa Jal. But Allah Azza wa Jal has made us into nations and tribes. And He tells us in many places in the Quran, I'm going to quote two of them. One of them, it says, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ, O mankind, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ مِنْ ذَكَرٍ وَأُنْثَى وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. We have created you from a single male and a single female, and we made you into nations and tribes so you get to know each other. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. Verily the most honorable of you is the one who is most righteous of you. So Allah Azza wa Jalla has sent messengers to different towns and different people, teaching them the same message. So, and in Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَلِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. To each one of you we have made a way of life, a sharia. And then at the beginning of the surah that's before it, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ Islam. Very, the religion is Islam. So Prophet Ibrahim was Islam, was Muslim. ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما. Ibrahim was not a Jew, he was not a Christian, but he was a Muslim. Prophet Musa was a Muslim, teaching them Islam. So the religion is the same. But Allah made them different tribes and nations to test them. And He says, فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. Compete in a race of virtue. إِلَيَّ مَرْجِعُكُمْ. Allah, if Allah willed, He would have made you into one nation. But Allah made you into different nations, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ فِيمَا أَتَاكُمْ. So He can test you with what He has given you. Are you going to say, no, I'm American, therefore I'm better than you because you're, No, we're all, according to Islam, we're all the same. We're all Muslims, we're all the slave and the servants of Allah Azza wa Jal. We come from different backgrounds, and Allah puts us on this earth from different backgrounds to compete to see who is better in the eyes of Allah. Not who's got more money and who's got more power. It's whoever is better in the eyes of Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah, if He had willed, He would have made us into one nation. But He wants to see who's going to be misguided and who's going to be guided. Allah is the one who guides and misguides. And Allah guides and misguides based on how you turn to Allah or you don't want to turn to Allah Azza wa Jal. وَلَا تُسْأَلُنَّ عَمَّا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And you will be asked with what you used to do. And then here Allah Azza wa Jal continue, and for the second time, like few ayats before, He said similar things. وَلَا تَتَّخِذُوا أَيْمَانَكُمْ دَخَلًا بَيْنَكُمْ فَتَزِلَّ قَدَمٌ بَعْدَ ثُبُوتِهَا وَتَذُوقُوا السُّوءَ بِمَا صَدَّدتُّمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَلَكُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. And don't, you have made a covenant, you have made a contract between each other, and don't use those contracts and those covenants to cheat each other, or to bribe each other, or to harm each other. So then what happens when you do this, you made a contract with someone and said, I'm going to pay you and I promise you, and you walk away and you never paid them, right? Then Allah Azza wa Jalla, فَتَزِلَّ قَدَمٌ بَعْدَ ثُبُوتِهَا. Then your foot, after it was firm on the ground, it actually slips and falls. So basically your iman is lost, your work, your deeds gone, all the good things that you've done is going to, fall away from you, because you are basically breaking those covenants and you're cheating people. وَتَذُوقُوا السُّوءَ بِمَا صَدَدتُّمْ. Not only this, you will taste evil, you will taste harm, because you have deprived people عن سبيل الله, from the straight path of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَلَكُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, and you will be you will have a great punishment from Allah Azza wa Jal. Again, and Allah continue, وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا بِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا, and do not purchase with the covenant that you've made with Allah. So first there's a covenant between you, and now there's a covenant between you and Allah Azza wa Jal. And don't purchase with the covenant that you made with Allah Azza wa Jal with a cheap price. I mean, you go bribe the ruler, you go bribe the person in authority so you can get what you need to do. You know, the lobbyists and those all of those kind of things are not accepted in Islam. And then وَتَشْتَرُوا بِعَهْدِ, so with the you sell your religion for a cheap price to bribe this guy and to bribe this guy. إِنَّمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Know that what Allah Azza wa Jal has given to you, has promised you, is much better for you only if you knew. مَا عِنْدَكُمْ يَنْفَدْ, whatever you have is finite, is going to it's gonna go eventually, it's gonna disappear. وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ, and whatever you keep with Allah is gonna stay. Because you can collect as much money, you can collect all the money in the world, but one day we're gonna die, we're gonna go in the grave alone. So all of it's gonna go away. It's gonna go to our inheritors, it's gonna go to whoever it is. But whatever you have kept with Allah, the good deeds, is what's gonna stay, whether it's good or bad. Whatever you keep a good deed with Allah, it's gonna stay, it's gonna take you to Jannah. You do bad deeds, Allah is gonna account you for, and then you're gonna be questioned about it. إنما عند الله هو خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Whatever you have that is good with Allah Azza wa Jalla is much better for you only if you knew. No, here see, ما عندكم ينفد وما عند الله باق. Whatever you have is gonna go to null, but it's gonna disappear eventually, and whatever you keep with Allah is gonna stay. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّ الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And we will reward those who were patient, who stayed and were patient with their with their reward. So those who were reward, those who were patient, those who worshipped Allah Azza wa Jal, did good deeds. So you've done this many good deeds, and then good deeds at this level, and then you've done some good deeds at this level, and then you've done some good deeds at this level, and maybe you've done one good deed that's at this level, okay, like the highest level. So then here Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّ الَّذِينَ, so those who were patient, we will reward them. He's not going to calculate the average and reward you here. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Allah is going to look at the best thing that you used to do, and He's going to reward you according to that. SubhanAllah, look at the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah is not going to look, you've done some good deeds. He's going to look at the best deed that you've done, and this is what Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to reward you for. SubhanAllah. And that is, out of the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And this ayah, subhanAllah, is a great ayah. The next one. He says, مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا, whoever, there's a condition here. First you have to be believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla. You have to be Muslim. You have to be in Allah Azza wa Jalla. Do your salat and adhere to the commandments of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Then, whoever, مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, whoever did a righteous deed, whether he's a male or a female, while he was in a state of Iman, you truly believe in Allah and you're doing good deeds with a true conviction of Allah Azza wa Jal, and you're a good mu'min, so you say, I'm going to stay on the straight path, I'm going to believe in Allah, and I'm going to be a good doer. So then Allah Azza wa Jal has given us a promise. He says, فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا, we're going to give him in this life a beautiful life, an easy life, a life that he's going to be so happy, and he's going to be so satisfied with. He's going to give him true satisfaction. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ, and Allah repeats this, and we will reward them أَجْرَهُمْ, their reward, بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, with the best that they used to do. Look at this, subhanAllah, out of the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. So here Allah Azza wa Jal, what He's saying? He's saying that if you're a good mu'min and you do a good deed, Allah is going to give you an easy life. You might be the poorest man on earth, but He's going to put satisfaction in the heart. He's going to make you pleased with whatever you have. He might give you more, but at the end of the day, you will sleep, and you will sleep at peace, because you didn't harm anybody. Allah will give you an easy life. He will test you with a few things. The more He tests you, the more He raises your ranks, the more easy He makes it on you. The more you're thankful, you do good deeds, Allah gives you. You take it and you do good deeds, Allah will give you an easier life. And this is a promise from Allah Azza wa Jal. But if you turn away from Allah, and you say, no, how a lot of the people who disbelieve start to blame everything on Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah will make their life more harder. They could have so much money, but they should be so scared of this money, and all the people around them are like wolves trying to get money out of them, and they're not happy. So subhanAllah, happiness and satisfaction comes in the heart and comes through tranquility that Allah Azza wa Jal is going to place in this heart, purely because you're satisfied with what Allah Azza wa Jal has promised you. Then here Allah Azza wa Jal continues, He says, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. But remember, when you read and you recite the Quran, make sure first to ask Allah's refuge from the evil shaitan, the evil Satan. So that's why we say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم before we read the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, before you read the Quran, you have to do this. Why? إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ لَهُ سُلْطَانٌ عَلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. This is another confirmation from Allah Azza wa Jalla that Satan, the shaitan, have no power upon those who truly believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla and are in complete reliance upon Allah Azza wa Jalla. So if you rely on Allah Azza wa Jal, you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, you say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan Rajim, the shaitan have no power over you. But if you open the window for the shaitan and you turn away from the commandments of Allah, you start doing disobedience to Allah Azza wa Jal, then Allah Azza wa Jal will has given him permission to come to you, and he will come to you and he will try to deceive you as much as you can. So our opportunity to kick the shaitan out is never open a window for it. Ask Allah support, and then he's not around us and he cannot do anything. إنما سلطانه على الذين يتولونه والذين هم به مشركون. But his power is upon those who follow him. يتولونه, those who want him, those who open the windows for him. والذين هم به مشركون, and those who worship him or attribute him with Allah Azza wa Jal, do shirk with him with Allah because they obey him. The shirk comes in many forms. One of them is through worship. You put a stone and you worship it. Or you say, I worship this man. Or you actually worship the shaitan. This is one form of kufr and shirk. The other form of shirk is obedience. Blind obedience to someone else, even if you know that you're obeying this guy and this guy is giving you commandments against Islam. So if someone tells you, this is, I know it's, just don't do it. I'm a sheikh, I'm going to give you a fatwa. Pork is haram, but I'm giving you a fatwa to go and eat it. Based on what? And you say, well, he's a sheikh, he told me I'm going to eat it. Now you're doing shirk with this person, with Allah Azza wa Jal. So here when someone obeys the shaitan, follow the shaitan, knowingly that the shaitan is teaching them the wrong thing, they're actually doing shirk with Allah Azza wa Jal. So that's those who are doing shirk with the shaitan. وَإِذَا بَدَّلْنَا آيَةً مَكَانَ آيَةً وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا يُنَزِّلُ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُفْتَرٍ. But here Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, when we do nasakh of an ayah with a different ayah. So meaning there was an ayah that was revealed, and it talks about specific instance, specific time, and then later Allah bring another ayah that is stronger, that actually say, okay, this ruling is no longer it's void and null, now we need to take this ruling. And Allah purposely did this in the Quran in many places to teach us a process of ijtihad as we go throughout our lives. In certain times we'll say, okay, we're going to go back in times, because Allah Azza wa Jal, alcohol for example, He didn't make it halal haram the first day. The first day He's going to make alcohol haram, everybody said, no, we're not going to follow you, Messenger of Allah. So He wants to bring the tazkiyah, the tranquility into their hearts, and then slowly but surely make it haram. So He has made different stages. So here Allah Azza wa Jal, out of His own wisdom, He's teaching us also how we bring people to Islam in also stages. Here Allah Azza wa Jal says, when we exchange or we remove the rulings of one ayah with another ayah, one verse with another verse, Wallahu a'lam bima yunazzil, and know that Allah Azza wa Jal knows better with what He reveals. He knows that He revealed this ayah, and He knows He's going to reveal the next one. He's doing it in many reasons. One of them is to test the belief of the believers. Are they going to believe? Because He has reasons to take it into stages, subhanAllah. So what they will see, those who disbelieve, the kuffar will say, إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُفْتَرٍ. See, you're fabricating all of this. How come you changed your mind? It was this, now it's that. بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says, but most of them have no clue. They don't understand, they don't know. قل نزله روح القدس من ربك بالحق. Tell them that the spirit of Qudus, Ruh al-Qudus, which is Jibreel alayhi salam, he is the one who has revealed, ascended down from your Lord in truth to strengthen the believers and as guidance and glad tidings to the Muslimin, to the Muslims. So know that this Quran is not coming from you. It's not coming from anybody. It's coming from Allah, and Allah is sending him with angel Jibreel, who was the angel. His job is to send the revelation to all the messengers. He is sending it to you, and in it there is guidance and glad tidings to those Muslims who follow the guidance from Allah Azza wa Jal. And then here Allah Azza wa Jal is trying to make it easy in comforting the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He says, وَلَقَدْ نَعْلَمُ أَنَّهُمْ يَقُولُونَ إِنَّمَا يُعَلِّمُ بَشَرٍ. Allah is telling the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we know they are saying that a human is teaching you those verses. So what happened, there was this Christian person, and his name غلام الفاكه بن المغيرة واسمه جبر كان نصرانيا. So this person غلام الفاكه بن المغيرة, and he was also named called Jabr, and he used to be Christian, but he became Muslim. So when he became Muslim, he came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he wanted to learn from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about Islam, and the Prophet was teaching him about Islam. So this man was actually learning from the Prophet about Islam. So they came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and says, see, this man is coming to you, he's the one who's teaching you, because he's Christian, he has books, he has knowledge in their books, so he's teaching you the Quran, and you're writing it and you're telling us that this is from Allah Azza wa Jal. So they're saying that a man is teaching him. So then Allah Azza wa Jal answered them. He says, لِسَانُ الَّذِي يُلْحِدُونَ إِلَيْهِ أَعْجَمِي. The tongue of the person or of the books and the literatures that they are pointing towards is Ajami, is a different language, not Arabic. وَهَذَا لِسَانٌ عَرَبِيٌّ مُبِينٌ. But this is a clear, evident Arabic tongue. They call it complete different language. So how can this man who's got documents that are probably in Hebrew or Aramaic or whatever, and this is pure, linguistically strong Arabic. So how can this man?
So
yes.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was learning Christianity from a Christian?
No, he was teaching him Islam. This person became Muslim. The kuffar said, oh, he's learning from this Christian. So they didn't realize, and then actually this man came out and he told them, no, actually I am learning from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then they were, accusing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he's learning from a Christian. But in fact, the Christian was learning from him, and the Christian became Muslim. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ لَا يَهْدِيهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Those who do not believe in the signs of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah will never guide them, because they don't want to believe. And to them, Allah is going to give them a very painful punishment. إِنَّمَا يَفْتَرِ الْكَذِبَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ. Those who do not believe in the sign of Allah Azza wa Jal are the one who's going to fabricate falsehood. And they're going to bring lies and pretend, So here Allah is saying, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is believing Allah. He's not fabricating any lies. It is revelation from Allah Azza wa Jal. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَاذِبُونَ. And these are the liars, those who fabricate falsehoods unto Allah Azza wa Jal. And then the next ayah, before I read this ayah, let me remind you with a story. What happened is, this is at the early stages of Islam. So there was this person, and his name is Ammar ibn Yasir. Ammar ibn Yasir, his father was an old man and his mother was an old lady, and they were a bunch of also weak people in the city. They were rounded up by the disbelievers in Mecca in the early stages of Islam, and they were taken to a remote place and they've been tortured. So they were locked, they were imprisoned, and some of them they were whipped and they were tortured. And then while they were tortured, they were told, say Hubal, say the name of their God. And they refused to say the name of their God. And Ammar, his mother and his father were being also tortured and hurt. And then he saw his father being killed in front of him, and his mom was tortured and they're ready to kill her. So when he heard this and he saw that they're gonna kill her, he says Hubal, Hubal, and he called the name of their gods, just to maybe stop the torture of his mother. So when he, then he left alive, and they left him in the desert. And then later the Muslims came and they saw that there were dead people there. They came, they saved those who were still alive, and they asked them to go and move to Ethiopia. There is a Christian king there that will take care of them, and he asked them to leave the Prophet ﷺ. But then when this happens, Ammar ibn Yasir was feeling very, very, very guilty, and he didn't want to look the Prophet in the eye. And they asked him, what's going on? And he told them, I called their gods. So then Allah Azza wa Jal revealed this verse in the Quran for that specific instance. And He says, من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان ولكن من شرح بالكفر صدرا فعليه غضب من الله. He says, those who disbelieve with Allah Azza wa Jal after their belief, with the exception of those who were forced to do this, while their heart is filled with tranquility in terms of iman. So you might have uttered it, but your heart is filled because you've been forced. But those who actually, their heart is open with kufr, with disbelief, and they said it because they truly disbelieve, those Allah's wrath is upon them, and then they will get a great punishment. So Allah Azza wa Jal says, if you disbelieve after you believe, and you truly do it from the heart, you have a great punishment. But if you say it because you've been forced, Allah look at your heart. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says, ذَلِكَ بَأَنَّهُ اسْتَحَبُّوا الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا عَلَى الْآخِرَةِ. Those who disbelieve, truly disbelieve from their heart, is because they like this worldly life be better than the hereafter. And verily Allah does not guide those who are the people, إِلَهِ الْقَوْمَ الْكَافِرِينَ, the people who are disbelievers. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ. Those people Allah has put a seal onto their hearts, their hearing and their sights. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. And these are those who are unmindful of Allah Azza wa Jal. لا جرم أنهم في الآخرة هم الخاسرون. Verily, these are the ones that will be the worst of losers and the most losers on the day of Qiyamah. ثم إن ربك للذين هاجروا من بعد ما فتنوا ثم جاهدوا وصبروا إن ربك من بعد لغفور رحيم. But indeed Allah, for those who migrated in the path of Allah Azza wa Jal, and they've been tested, and they did jihad, they struggled in the path of Allah Azza wa Jal, وصبروا, and they were patient, verily Allah, after that, He is the most forgiving, most merciful. So Allah forgives him, and He's most merciful, because what he said was on the tongue, not from the heart. يوم تأتي كل نفس تجادل عن نفسها. On the day when every soul is going to come and argue about itself. وتوفى كل نفس ما عملت وهم لا يظلمون. And every soul will be rewarded what it has done, and they will not be wrong done. وضرب الله مثلا كلمة قرية كانت آمنة مطمئنة يأتيها رزقها رغدا من كل مكان فكفرت بأنعم الله فأذاق الله لباس الجوع والخوف بما كانوا يصنعون. And here Allah Azza wa Jalla has given us the example of a town that was Amina, that has tranquility, had peace. And this town is actually Mecca. Here Allah Azza wa Jalla is referring to actually the town of Mecca. What happened, the people of Mecca used to get their provision, they used to get their food, they used to get everything, and they never had any issues. Right? People will bring them from all over the place. أَلَمْ نُمَكِّنْ لَهُمْ حَرَمًا آمِنًا يُجْبَى إِلَيْهِ ثَمَرَاتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Allah has given them a tranquility, a peaceful haram, that all the food and all the fruits of everything come to it. Nothing grows there, but they get all of these things. So here, when they disbelieve, here Allah Azza wa Jalla says, look at the example of this town that used to be peaceful and had tranquility, and then يأتيها رزقها رغدا من كل مكان. Its provisions will come to it constantly from everywhere. فكفرت بأنعم الله. They disbelieved with the favors of Allah. Allah sent them a messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to them. They disbelieved in him. They rejected him. فأذاق الله لباس الجوع والخوف. For 7 years after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated and went to Medina, for 7 years they were faced with hunger and fear, بما كانوا يصنعون, with the things that he used to do. So to the point that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent people to give them food and to help them from their starvation. These are the enemy that kicked him out. He sent people to give them food. Look at subhanallah, the character of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْهُمْ فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَأَخَذَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ وَهُمْ ظَالِمُونَ. And a messenger came to them, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They disbelieved in him. then Allah Azza wa Jal has punished them with the things that they used to be wrongdoing. فَكُلُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. So here Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, eat with what the provision that Allah has given to you as good halal food. And this is what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given them. After they kicked him out, Allah has given them hunger. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent them food, and Allah eat from the food that the halal that the messenger is giving you. حلالا طيبا واشكروا نعمة الله إن كنتم إياه تعبدون. And be thankful to Allah with His favor if you truly worship Him. Then Allah Azza wa Jal here remind us with what He had made haram to us. إنما حرم عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير. Allah has made haram unto you the dead animal, and the blood, the spilled blood, and the flesh of the swine. وما أهل لغير الله به. And anything that you slaughter in the name of other than Allah Azza wa Jal. فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فإن الله غفور رحيم. Anybody who was forced, or not forced, like he felt there's no other mean of provisions, and he did not do this out of going against the commandment of Allah Azza wa Jal, فإن الله غفور رحيم. Indeed, Allah is the most forgiving, the most merciful. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَا تَصِفُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمُ الْكَذِبَ هَذَا حَلَالٌ وَهَذَا حَرَامٌ لِتَفْتَرُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ. Don't go and say with your tongue, this is halal and this is haram, and make your own, to falsify and to create falsehood upon Allah Azza wa Jalla, or to create lies and say this is from Allah Azza wa Jalla. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَفْتَرُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ لَا يُفْلِحُونَ. Those who lie and attribute those lies, that's coming from Allah Azza wa Jalla, they will never be successful. مَتَاعٌ قَلِيلٌ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. They will have small enjoyment in this life, but in the hereafter they're going to have very painful punishment. And then here Allah Azza wa Jalla remind us, and He's telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ هَادُوا, and those who call themselves Jews, the Jewish people, حَرَّمْنَا مَا قَصَصْنَا عَلَيْكَ مِنْ قَبْلِ. We made haram unto them what we have told you before. And Allah has told us in Surah Al-An'am what He has made haram unto them. وَمَا ظَلَمْنَاهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. And Allah did not make their food hard for them to consume, and the kosher food to be difficult on them. He said, I did not wrongdo them, but they wrongdone themselves. They went against the commandment of Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah would make things more difficult because they were making things more difficult upon their messengers and upon themselves. Inshallah, a few more ayat will finish, inshallah. We'll try to finish on time. ثم إن ربك الذين عملوا السوء بجهالة ثم تابوا من بعد ذلك وأصلحوا إن ربك من بعدها لغفور رحيم. This is a very important ayah. We need to spend some time on it. But then Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, and verily your Lord, those who do wrong things, those who commit sins, بجهالة, while they are ignorant, ثم تابوا من بعد ذلك, but then after that they do tawbah, they repent to Allah Azza wa Jalla, وأصلحوا, and they fix the things that they have broken before. إن ربك من بعد لغفور رحيم. Indeed, Allah after this is the most forgiving, most merciful. So bijahala has two meaning you were not aware, like you've done something wrong but you didn't know it was wrong. And bijahala is in a state of jahiliyyah, while you are in a state of ignorance. You could be Muslim, but subhanAllah, you're still going back and forth. You're not really, you might do something and then you say, no, I'm going to stop, and you go back to it. You're still in a state of jahiliyyah until you come back completely to Islam. Then Allah Azza wa Jal, so Allah, if you turn to Allah, Allah will forgive you. But you have to fix what you have done. If it's between you and Allah, you can just repent, do salat, and come back to your ibadah. Allah will forgive you. But if you've done something wrong with other human being, you have to try to fix it. You have to try to reconcile all these things. And if you do this, Allah will forgive you and Allah will accept from you. Then here, remember, so this surah is all about the na'am, the favor of Allah Azza wa Jal, and about shirk with Allah Azza wa Jal. So every time when Allah talks about na'am and shirk, He gives us the example of Ibrahim, just like in Surah Al-Ma'idah. And then here He concludes, this is the last page in the surah, He says, إِنَّ إِبْرَاهِيمَ كَانَ أُمَّةً قَانِتًا لِلَّهِ حَنِيفًا وَلَمْ يَكُنْ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Verily, Ibrahim used to be a nation on his own. قَانِتًا لِلَّهِ, devoting himself, Hanifa, to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he would in prostration to Allah Azza wa Jal, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And Allah so many times, so many places in the Quran, He has testified that Ibrahim has not even an atom of shirk in his heart. He completely submitted to Allah, complete thankful to Allah Azza wa Jal, subhanallah. So then Allah Azza wa Jal, look at Ibrahim. He was a nation of his own. Why? Because he didn't have a place. He would go from place to place, call people to Islam. He was a nation. He was his own nation. أمة قال لله حنيفا ولم يكن من المشركين شاكرا لأنعمه. What is his best quality? He was thankful to the favors that Allah Azza wa Jal has bestowed on him. No matter what happened, he said, Alhamdulillah. اجتباه. Allah has chosen him and had brought him to him. Allah has chosen him out of all of mankind. وهداه, and Allah is the one who guided him. إلى صراط مستقيم, in towards a straight path. So now when Allah Azza wa Jal tells us about Ibrahim, he is a nation. This is the example of the best human on earth. So then what did Allah Azza wa Jal says? وَآتَيْنَاهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنًا. We have given him in this worldly life good deeds. Allah has elevated his stature in this worldly life. Even until now, in our salat, we say Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad kama sallaita ala Sayyidina Ibrahim, right? And we remember Ibrahim. وَإِنَّهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ لَمِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, and hereafter he is among the righteous ones. ثُمَّ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ, and then we have revealed to you, O Messenger of Allah Azza wa Jal, أَنِ اتَّبِعْ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا, that you follow the way of Ibrahim, Hanifa, total devotion towards Allah Azza wa Jal. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Again, Allah is testifying that he was not among the mushrikeen. Then Allah Azza wa Jal here continues, says, إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ السَّبْتُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ. Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jal has made the Sabbath as compulsory on those who actually argued and disputed in the Sabbath. This was, this is the way for the Jews. For us is Jum'ah. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَيَحْكُمُ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فِي مَا كَانُوا فِيهِ يَخْتَلِفُونَ. And Allah is the one who's going to judge between them on the day of Qiyamah with the things that they used to dispute it. Then here towards the end, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, ادعوا إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. Call toward the path of Allah Azza wa Jalla with wisdom, with maw'iza, and advise people al-hasana, with the good advice. So when you call people to Islam, when you talk to them, use wisdom, use righteous words. Don't use, don't fight, don't argue with them. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي أَحْسَنُ. When you argue with them in the best of manners. Subhanallah, that's how we call people toward Islam. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. Verily, Allah knows who are, lost from the straight path of Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah knows who are the guided ones. وَإِنْ عَاقَبْتُمْ فَعَاقِبُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ. 3 more ayats, we're done, inshallah. And if you were punished in the same manner that you've been punished. وَلَئِنْ صَبَرْتُمْ لَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لِلصَّابِرِينَ. But if you were patient, it is better for you to be patient. So if someone punish you, forgive, be patient, it is better for you. وَاصْبِرْ. Then Allah Azza wa Jal emphasize on this, be patient. Patience is very important in Islam. وَمَا صَبْرُكَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. And know that your patience, Allah is the one who's going to see, Allah is going to reward you with that. وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ. Don't feel saddened for those who disbelieve. Just call them. It's between them and Allah at the end. وَلَا تَكُ فِي ضَيْقٍ مِمَّا يُنْكِرُونَ. And don't let it, give you this tightness into your heart with the things that they used to plot and to do. You just be patient. Know that Allah is with you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ مُحْسِنُونَ. And indeed, Allah is with the ones who do taqwa to Allah, fear Allah Azza wa Jal, and those who are muhsinun, those who are good doers. And remember, he said, do good, Allah will give you an easy life. Allah will make your life easy for you. Allah will give you satisfaction in this life. Subhanallah. And Allah is with the ones who do fear Allah and with the one who are good doers. So be among them and follow the way of Ibrahim. And subhanallah, what a great surah with great wisdom toward the end. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun al mursaleen. Walhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Jazakumullah khairan.